ASJ. Austin, St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. That's what made me famous for 40 countries and 90 languages. But it was other things I did that made me famous with the police. I thought we should talk about movies. Because movies, everybody likes a movie. Everybody's got a favorite movie. Everybody has a genre of movies. I like all of them, kind of, for the most part. Ish, maybe. So, yeah, I do. So sometimes I have to discuss these things with myself. I say to myself, self,
do I like that movie? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. And then other times, like, no, self, we don't like that movie. It sucked. But it depends on which one of myselves I'm talking to. It's an identity crisis. Are you with me?
So, okay, movie. One of my top favorite movies. Got to start with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Love the gear, love the outfit. He comes out, he's got the hat, the leather, the whip. The whip comes out and the guy's coming around and blades are flying and you're like, he's about to die, this super huge ninja guy. And he's like... So one minute he's shooting people, the next minute the whip is out, the next minute guys with swords are flying, and then another moment he's got the heart and it's like into his chest and he's pulsating and it catches fire and I'm reliving the moment. I have to get one of me back. I'm not sure which one that was.
The other me is now here, and that was like the most awesome thing I'd ever seen.
So then they go through the whole line and it was like, Fraulein, you remember the creepy Hitler guy? So creepy. I love that guy. His whole face melted off at the end of the movie. I mean, his face melted off. In the late 80s, that didn't happen much that I know of. That was creepy, but it was that cackle and the glasses, and he had this super nasal, Fraulein, and he was always looking at the woman like she was lunch. We as men, on occasion, have a tendency to do that, but not creepy like the Hitler guy. Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, the whole series, I gotta start there because it's awesome. And was that the same girl that was Lois Lane? Was she the same girl in that one? From Superman? Let me know. You're gonna have to tell me if I'm wrong, and it's okay, we can take it. I'll live. Another throwback for me from the 80s, do you remember Gremlins? Like Gremlins. I was young in the 80s. I know at one time I was young too. You can believe that. But Gremlins, like Gizmo, do you remember watching that happen? I was like, he was such a cute little guy, and then out of nowhere, he gets dropped in the water, and these evil little demon things are like all over the place, and they're going wild and crazy. Loved Gremlins. Weird Science. Early Val Kilmer, before he became a interesting individual, and did good movies. Love that one. So now we gotta move forward a little bit in time. We gotta get out of like the old school stuff. So as far as the newer movies go, I guess the next question would be, let's pick one, let's see, what comes to mind? I don't know. How about the new Power Rangers movie, 2017, March? Was it as good as the original series? Of course not. Really? Did you have to ask us that question? Because we already know. It did have some awesome parts to it. I love the effects. Nothing like the effects that we could have done in the 90s. Watching the Megazord come up, and I heard a lot of you guys weren't really down with the Megazord because that was like not the Megazord of my time. But I still thought it was kind of cool. The individual Zords kind of sucked. Like in the series, taller than skyscrapers, they were super huge. Our job was to save Angel Grove, but we destroyed it every day. We had the world's best contractors. They rebuilt the entire city overnight so we could destroy it again the next day. In the movie, like the Tyrannosaurus was barely bigger than a 2 or 3 story building. Dunkin' Donuts was almost as big as my Zord. Favorite part of the movie, when Jason pimp slapped the bully in detention. Back in my day, they would have said that's too violent, you can't do it, no head contact, no headshots. And then they tie it into the end of the movie where he slaps Rita and Rita goes off into outer space, and I think that's how she's gonna land on the moon. Did you notice she was always wearing green? What's the tie-in there? Is this things to come, like the Green Ranger guy? I'm watching with one eye. How do we discuss this? Am I supposed to be okay with this? I feel so conflicted. I didn't catch it the first time, but some friends of mine were like, did you notice that they made the character Trini gay? I'm like, what? We weren't even really allowed to discuss these things in the 90s. Tui Trang, you guys know that she passed away. She's no longer with us. Very dear person. So it was really important to me, and I didn't realize how important it was for me to feel attached to the new Trini character. And Becky G, man, hats off to you. Girl, you did a great job. She was kind of the outsider, you know, this harder, tougher girl. And watching Becky G's take on it, she comes in as the outside girl, a little bit of the lone wolf. You could feel a depth of her past and everything she presented to the team as they're all getting to know each other. I thought that was really cool. At first, I struggled a little bit with liking Trini, but she grew on me quickly. And I missed the initial pass where they start talking about her. She intimates, anyway, that she was gay. And I was like, wow. So now they're tying in Trini's strength to a whole new line of options and possibilities, and I love it. It's super cool. Zordon, I loved what they did with Zordon. So they have this huge, big talking head with more personality, more depth of field. You could see more features. Bryan Cranston was the voice. I loved his rendition of Zordon, as did David Fielding, who was the original Zordon. I kind of missed that there was no Bulk and Skull. Like, where was the comedy relief in there? But they only had an hour and 10, 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, so we had to miss a little bit of that. I love the Asian guy, black guy conversation about I'm black, and he's like, no, you're not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. You know, I'm the Black Ranger. And he's like, no, you're not. He's like, I'm black. No, I'm not. Favorite character in the movie, R.J. Cyler, Blue Ranger. Loved what he brought to the table. Rita Repulsa, Elizabeth Banks. Met her at the premiere in LA along with all the other cast, old and new. And Elizabeth Banks, Grace Under Fire, beautiful woman. I thought what she brought to the movie was, like, she actually killed somebody for a golden tooth. We didn't see it on camera, but we know what happened. Pretty intense. We didn't kill people in Power Rangers. We destroyed entire cities, but we never killed anybody. Totally different. But I think that's really kind of like my take on it. What do you think? What was your favorite bit? What was your least favorite bit? You got to comment on that and let me know. All right, man. I mean, what could you possibly talk about after Power Rangers 2017, right? There's nothing else in the world more important, except maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom.